Week 11 waiver wire. Let's get it started. Do you have questions at quarterback? Don't worry, I got you. Joe Flacco goes up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time he played the Steelers, he had over 300 yards and 3 of them things. Them things is touchdowns. 3 of them things. Until Joe Burrow gets back, Flacco's a solid play. Speaking of the Bengals versus the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers also balled out in that matchup. He had 4 touchdowns. Bengals defense is terrible. Enough said. Couple solid flyers. Marcus Mariota should be solid, goes up against the Miami Dolphins who don't scare you. And if you need a flyer, J.J. McCarthy had 49 rushing yards on the ground last week. Solid floor. Going up against the Chicago Bears, it's a pretty good matchup. And make sure Joe Burrow isn't out on your waiver wire. He might be back in a couple weeks. And he gonna be slinging that thing. Moving on to the running backs. Are you having a rough time at running back? Don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Running back's pretty mid this week, except for the last one, if he's out there. Amari DeMarcado has been pretty solid. He had 100 yards and 3 receptions last week. It's pretty good. The rest of these guys are good backups, but the next one I think you can actually play. Tyler Algier going up against the Carolina Panthers. I think that's fairly solid. If you have Bijan Robinson, he's pretty much a must grab. This is the time to really grab your backups. So I'm gonna list a couple of those. If you have Kyron Williams, get Blake Corum. If you have Christian McCaffrey, get Brian Robinson Jr. If you have Saquon Barkley, get Tank Bigsby. And regardless of if you have J.K. Dobbins or not, you should grab R.J. Harvey. He's not available in most leagues, but you should still check because he's available in 23% of leagues. And J.K. Dobbins is banged up. They were talking about putting him on the IR. It doesn't sound like they're going to do that, but it does sound like he might miss some time. If R.J. Harvey's out there, definitely want to grab him. Moving on to the wide receivers. Are you weak at wide receiver? Don't worry, I got you. Parker Washington has had double-digit fantasy points in his last 3 games. With Travis Hunter out and Brian Thomas banged up, kid's getting to work. Pick him up. Alec Pierce has had double-digit points 3 of the last 4 games. He's had 80 or more yards 3 of the last 4 games. He's getting to work. He's on a bye, but if you have an open spot, I think he's worth a grab. Tez Washington has had touchdowns in 3 of his last 4 games, and he had 2 last week. Clearly, my Buccaneers need receiving help. Mike Evans currently down with a collarbone injury. Chris Godwin's banged up, and I'm concerned of when he's going to come back. Everything can't go to Emeka Egbuka. So, Tej Johnson, going to get that work. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can pick up Jerry Jeudy. He's available in 30% of leagues because he's been terrible. But 12 targets last week, ended up with a decent game and a touchdown. If he's out there, he's a questionable start. You could do worse. I think Christian Watson's role continues to increase over time. Right now, he's stuck at 4 targets, but he was out for a while. I think he's going to ramp up soon. If you have an IR spot, you can also pick up Jaden Reed. He'll be back at some point, and he should be solid. Moving on to the tight ends. Are you having a tough time at tight end? Don't worry, I got you. Cade Otton has had double-digit fantasy points 4 of the last 5 games, and last week he had 12 targets. Man, we need some receiver help. I think he's a good grab, though. The Browns are bad, but they're throwing it to Harold Fenton Jr. He's had 7 or more targets in 3 of the last 4 weeks. Love to see it. And he's rostered in about half the leagues. He might be out there. Colston Loveland is a solid add. I don't think that he's going to be consistently great, but I do think that rookies tend to get more involved as the season goes on. He's already had a high-end game. I wouldn't think that's going to be consistent, but I do think that he does have upside, and they drafted him high for a reason. If Davis Mills starts again, I think Dalton Schultz will be solid. He's had 13 or more points 3 of the last 4 weeks, and I'm loving the targets. He had 11 last week. That's a lot for a tight end. Theo Johnson is also a solid grab. I like the 8 targets last week, 7 receptions. He's had double-digit fantasy points in 3 of the last 4 weeks. Pretty good. I like him more if Jackson Dart starts. We'll see how that goes. Moving on to the defenses. Are you desperate for a defense? Don't worry, I got you. The Kansas City Chiefs are my favorite defense that's more widely available. They were on bye last week, so people probably dropped them. They go up against the Denver Broncos. Broncos just played terribly at home against the Raiders. Now they get the Chiefs, who are actually a good defense. Solid start. These next guys are more rostered, but you should still check to see if they're out there. The Houston Texans get the Tennessee Titans. Incredible matchup. You're really just searching for the bad teams. The New England Patriots get to go up against the New York Jets, who are terrible. Justin Fields was absolutely awful. If it wasn't for 2 returns by their special teams, they would have had almost no points. The Baltimore Ravens get the Cleveland Browns. Do I need to say much more than that? Defense has been looking better recently. Last 2 weeks, 8 and 15. Pretty good. Now they get the Cleveland Browns. The Green Bay Packers get to go up against the New York Giants. And Jackson Dart may not play. I know he's banged up. Regardless if he plays or not, defense is good. And they should score some points. If you like defense, last night was the game for you. That's going to do it for my Waiver Wire Wednesdays. If you have any questions, hit me up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell down below. I'll see you soon, Bay Nation. Peace.